The man, soaked from head to toe, used a knife to split a bullet in half just to survive, but, to his surprise, a few drops of river water spilled out instead. Shivering from the cold, Bruce had no choice but to grab another bullet. He knew if the next ones were like this, he might not make it out alive. Luckily, this bullet hadn't been affected by the water. He poured the gunpowder from the casing onto a wooden stake. Fighting through the freezing -20°C temperature, he snapped nearby branches into small pieces and placed them next to the powder. Then he pulled out another bullet, grabbed his knife from the ground, and started hammering the base of the bullet nonstop. But after struggling for a while, his shaking body couldn't focus. Bruce knew if this kept up, he'd end up frozen like a statue. He kept talking to himself, trying to stay calm. Next, he fixed the bullet in place, pointed the knife tip at its base, then picked up a rock and started pounding the knife's handle. Finally, with the help of the powder, he managed to ignite a life-saving flame. But the danger wasn't over yet. Bruce had to eliminate the threat before the man hunting him found his location. As the fire grew stronger, he quickly stripped off his soaked shirt. Looking at the bullet wound on his arm, he grabbed a bottle of alcohol, took a huge swig, then poured the rest directly on the wound. The second the alcohol hit, he couldn't help but let out a scream. He stuffed his clothes in his mouth, picked up the knife from the ground, and while screaming in pain, used his pants to disinfect the blade. Then, taking a deep breath, he pressed the knife tip to his wound and started digging like crazy. After a few brutal attempts, he finally dug the bullet out of his arm. But that was only step one. To prevent infection, he stabbed the knife into the fire, and once it turned red hot, he pressed the handle against his wound. At the same time, the bounty hunters chasing him were closing in fast. Sensing danger, Bruce realized he'd already wasted too much time here. To throw them off, he circled the area on purpose, then used a branch to erase all traces of his real path. But as he swept the snow, he realized it was a dumb idea. They'd find him eventually. To truly escape, he needed a solid plan. Looking at the big tree nearby, a clever idea suddenly popped into his head. Meanwhile, the bounty hunters spotted the fire Bruce had lit. To catch him faster, they decided to split up. Little did they know, a nightmare was waiting just up ahead.